We tend to picture artificial intelligence as something invisible and weightless, but the reality of AI is heavy metal. It operates inside massive, densely packed server farms that generate intense heat and consume staggering amounts of electricity. To run these new processors, you need industrial-scale power, and right now, the American electrical grid, built decades ago, is maxing out. Look at the state of Maine. Local governments there are actively blocking new data centers. Residents are terrified that plugging in massive AI facilities will cause rolling blackouts for homes, and that the industrial cooling systems will drain millions of gallons from local watersheds. A billion-dollar server facility might only hire 30 full-time technicians. For communities built on fishing, tourism, and a strict zero-carbon timeline, sacrificing their environment for server space simply doesn't make economic sense. While American projects stall in city council zoning meetings, Beijing is bypassing local politics entirely and building at scale. Chinese tech firms are moving aggressively into Russia. Siberia offers everything a hyperscale data center needs: sub-zero temperatures for natural cooling, vast tracts of empty land, and massive natural gas resources. The math is brutal. Without a massive new geographic footprint, American AI stalls and Beijing takes the lead. To break out of this bottleneck, the U.S. is looking to the exact opposite climate, the Arabian Desert. Nations like Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates possess enormous expanses of empty land and immense, easily accessible energy reserves. They wield multi-trillion-dollar sovereign wealth funds and operate without the environmental red tape found in Western democracies. American tech giants are now physically outsourcing the core hardware of AI to these nations. They're planting the hardware engine of the future directly into the sand. The Gulf is pivoting from pumping crude oil to processing the world's data. Running millions of high-performance processors in the desert creates an obvious problem: heat. Keeping these superconducting systems operational requires dropping temperatures to near absolute zero. You cannot achieve that level of extreme cooling with water or fans. You need one specific, irreplaceable element: helium. Helium is primarily extracted as a byproduct of natural gas. Today, roughly 30% of the global supply is produced by a single country, Qatar. This cross-section shows the massive South Pars and North Field reservoirs straddling the Persian Gulf beneath Qatar and Iran. Iran holds a quarter of the world's helium reserves, but due to sanctions, this supply remains locked and unexploited. Whoever dictates the development of this single underground reservoir effectively controls the speed limit for the entire global supply chain of advanced microchips. The desperate need for AI infrastructure and raw helium helps explain the current trajectory of American strategy in the Middle East. The ongoing pressure campaigns against Tehran coincide with a shift in tech requirements. Securing this exact geography ensures that the materials required for computing power remain under Western influence. At recent investment forums in Riyadh, firms representing over $20 trillion in managed assets met with Gulf leaders. This indicates a systemic alignment that goes beyond any individual leader. It is a move to secure the physical inputs of the next economy. If the United States fails to normalize relations across the Gulf and integrate these economies into its digital supply chain, it creates a vacuum. Beijing is positioned to instantly absorb that capacity. Forcing regional integration and neutralizing adversarial actors is a mechanical necessity to halt Chinese expansion into the Middle East. Maintaining leverage over the Persian Gulf dictates who builds the physical hardware of human civilization.